Howdy, y'all. How are you doing? I hope everybody is doing super awesome. I am going to share my journal with you guys for the last week. So, this will be from January the 21st until January the 27th, which is today. So, let's see what I've been up to. Okay, so Friday the 21st, it was cold and clear. We had a high in the mid 40s and a low in the low 20s. That's pretty cold for us. I took Slim to work and came back home to get ready. My glasses are ready, so I'm off to Texarkana to pick them up. Usually, when I go to Texarkana, for any reason, I'll do several things while I'm over there because I don't often get over there. But this time I just fetched my glasses and came on back. Everything went fine at the eye doctor's, and I love my new glasses. They said, bring them back anytime for adjustments, and if I break them in the next year, they will replace them for free. So that's always awesome to know. Um, I stopped by Virginia's for a visit on the way home, and she told me all about her trip to Little Rock and that they had a great time. She had fish tacos for the first time. Those are really good, by the way. And she went to an old school club where they played old school music, and it was just, like grown folks, and everybody was there to have a good time. She said it was a really awesome atmosphere, and they had a very fun time and a good visit. So I was really happy to hear all about that. We all need to get out and go have a good time every once in a while. So Slim got off work early and I ran and checked the mail, still nothing. And I went and picked him up at TJ's. And when we got home, we decided to cover our windows with plastic. I don't know if y'all do that. Sometimes in the autumn time, these kits go on sale with this shrinkable plastic and double-sided tape, and you cover your windows with. I'll show you here in a minute. I got the kit a while back, but we haven't made a point to do that as it hasn't been really cold. But this next week is going to be in the teens. So we need a little extra help staying warm to keep the electric bill from going sky high. The only thing is, once they are covered, I can't open them until I remove the plastic in the spring. We got some of them done, and I'll do the rest tomorrow, or we'll do the rest tomorrow. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this window, for example, it has the plastic on it. You can kind of see it down here. There's a little wrinkledy spot you can see. It's been covered in this plastic. So you get a big sheet of this plastic and you measure it to fit the window. And it's much easier now. It used to come in like folded in a square, like a sheet, but now it comes in a roll. So you can just roll it out however wide your window is and cut it off and fold it down. And it's pretty much a standard size for a regular window like that. So you get a piece big enough and then you put the double-sided tape like all the way around on your window and you stick that plastic on there. And what makes it nice and tight like this is you get your hair dryer and you heat it with the hair dryer until all the wrinkles come out. And that makes it, visually, you can't even see it's there. So it's not like ugly, it's crystal clear and there's no real wrinkles to be seen. So you can't really see it. But also, whenever you get it nice and taut like this, it helps keeps the drafts in a lot better too. So this completely blocks all the draftiness from these old windows and stuff. So it works really well, especially this window is kind of drafty. And so far, even though the cat tower here is right here, they haven't messed with it. They don't seem to notice it. They treat it like it's a window, and they don't seem to notice that this is different than it was before. But I can't reach my little pull tabs and I can't reach my little adjustment strings. So I've just kind of got the louvers here on half mast and I just use the curtains themselves. I open and close just the curtains because I can't get to my actual blinds while I have this plastic up. But it's worth it. You know, I can still open and close the curtains, and I can still get nice sunlight in here. And you can't really tell that the windows are covered in plastic. And we've done several this way. I'm just showing this one as an example. But yeah, so that's what we were doing when I say covering the windows with plastic. Um, it's kind of a little kit that you buy, and it looks pretty good when you do it. And it's, pretty forgiving. You can do it with the hair dryer, and it looks pretty nice. No problem. Okay, so that is the plastic on the windows that I was talking about. Um, this doesn't want to zoom in or focus. Uh, Sometimes it just won't do. Here we go. Decided to go out for Chinese for supper, but to be more productive, Slim stayed home and worked on the windows while I ran to town and got us some to go Hachi Hachi, and that's about 20 minutes away. So, Hachi Hachi is like it's a food truck, and it's like a Japanese steakhouse type food. And if we get a like what they call a takeaway, if we get to go food, that's probably about one of the only few places we'll get it from. We also will get it from barbecue, a couple of different barbecue places. But yeah, so we had some Chinese takeaway after we fixed all the windows. Well, not all of them, but several of them. It's kind of a big job. We got a lot of windows. So moving on to Saturday, the 22nd, clear and cold again. Um, the high was in the mid 40s and the low was in the low teens. Finished up the rest of the windows, and putting that plastic up sure makes a big difference. The heater won't have to run near so much now that cold air isn't pouring through the windows. And that's true. We do have they're kind of old, and not all of them have the double frames on there. And so that plastic really does make a noticeable difference when we put it up. And there were a couple windows that still had it, like in the paint room and in the tiny place back there, my little crafty room. They both still had plastic from the last year when we didn't take it off this summer. I repaired the cat tower today. Well, I say repaired. I really only gave it a temporary fix. The carpet on the top post had gone to shreds, so I cut it off and I replaced it with some cotton rope. I will do it again with the 1-inch hay rope like the bottom post as soon as I get the right rope. Okay, so let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so on this cat tower, you can see that the posts are covered in carpet. All of the posts are covered in carpet, except for this one, which is covered in wound hay rope. It's just, I don't know if you can see, it's just rope that's been wound round and round, but they've scratched it to goodness, hairy, goodness, weird. They've really scratched it up. So, but it's still intact. Let's see if I can show you. On these, they're all torn up. Let's see, the sun is kind of weird. Okay, there you can see it. The way that they scratch this carpet, it tears it up completely, and the carpet begins to shed, and there's always little pieces everywhere. So, this post is their favorite, and as you can see, the carpet was completely gone on most of the post, and it was hanging in shreds, hanging in rags here. So I just cut down the side and cut around the base and removed the worst of the carpet. And I had this cotton rope. I just happen to have some of it. This isn't really what you would want, but it'll do for now. So I had quite a good length, and I wrapped it really tightly. I tied it around here and then wrapped it over and over and over the whole length that I had, and then just put a nail in it right there. And we fixed it, didn't we? Yeah, yeah, we fixed it, didn't we? So, this is my temporary repair for the scratching post, this scratching post. And I'm going to get the hay rope, the 1-inch hay rope that is down here. Let's see if I can show you. You can kind of see better on this side. And this is what I'm going to use to wrap, or at least around this one for now, and fix it. But eventually I'll recover all of the scratching posts with that hay rope. I think that's called 1-inch hay rope. That's what I'm going to buy anyway and use it to wrap around the post. But so this is my temporary fix, and you can see it's already all scratched up. He can climb it. Come here, Vince. Come and demonstrate. Come on down here and demonstrate. Come on, buddy. Well, you can see that it works, and he can jump down. When he's wanting to jump down, he can swing down and grab a hold of it. And the carpet was getting to the point where it was shedding all over the place, and it wasn't safe. When they grabbed it, it would give way and it would tear, and they couldn't get down. So, well, I mean, they would fall down instead of just be able to climb down. So that's why I did this little temporary fix, and it's Vince tested. Okay, so after I got done repairing that, yeah, I'm going to get the rope today when I go shopping and try to get that actually done right. Eventually, I'm going to do all the scratching posts in that way. It lasts way longer than carpet. I burned up a bunch of boxes today. I was going to burn the tree trimmings that the power company guys left, but all that stuff was way too green to burn, and I didn't want to stand out there in the cold much longer than I had to. I could probably have built up a big enough fire to get it started, but it was cold and I didn't want to. Howard spent several hours outside today and was loving every minute of it. It's far too cold for me, but that Howard doesn't seem to feel it at all. He was starting to use the front door to avoid Willow, who stays on the back porch. Yeah, so that was nice that I didn't have to fear a confrontation every single time someone comes in or out the house because Howard started using the front door instead of where Willow hangs out at the back door. Now, I haven't seen Willow's lady friend in several days. I think perhaps she just came for a long weekend and has now gone back to where she came from. I don't know if she's gone for good, but Willow has stopped his serenading at night, so I guess that's that. I guess they were just two ships passing in the night because I hadn't seen her again. She's gone. Moving on to Sunday, the 23rd, it was cold and breezy. The high in the low 50s and a low in the low 30s. That's cold for us. I know some of you guys that live up north or in colder climates that doesn't seem cold, but it is to me. Got up fairly early for a Sunday, made a big breakfast, sausage, eggs, and fried bread. We talked about working in the paint room today as we both have projects we want to get started, but we put it off and we got busy doing other things. Decided to clean the extra room up a bit. It's been kind of messy since I took the TV out of there and put it in the paint room. I realized in the process that I have a lot of empty boxes that I saved from Christmas and I don't know where to store them. So I wound up putting them in my crafty closet for now. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a whole bunch and I hate to get rid of them because I'm always needing a box, but I got a ton of boxes. The lilies on my bouquet are open and looking so beautiful. I've been changing the water every day, also setting them in the sun for a couple hours too. I have to watch the cats closely so they don't knock them over. Vince and Naboo like to eat them too. Yes, I did a couple of videos showing those roses when they started opening, and but the cats, they really do. I have to stay on them to leave them alone because they try to eat them. Carrie called and wanted to come and stay the night, which is always a treat. We played Extreme Yahtzee, and she won, of course. We played that Shit Happens card game and had a great time. We wound up playing 4 or 5 rounds, and usually she only wants to play Yahtzee. She's doing good on her low carb diet now and has already lost 15 pounds. I'm so very proud of her. It makes me realize that I am totally procrastinating on setting any hard guidelines for myself, and that is why the scale won't move. But you know what? The scale is moving. It is moving up. So that's not cool. And I really need to get with the program, and I'm not motivated. I wore my new glasses while playing games. They worked great, but I got a bit of eye strain. Yeah, I'm having to get used to these glasses. They're a bit stronger than my other ones, and it's taken some getting used to. Okay, so moving on to Monday, the 24th. It was mostly cloudy with a high in the low 50s and a low in the low 20s. Up early to help everyone get off to work, made a big breakfast for Slim and Carrie. We got a chance to visit over coffee a little bit before she had to go to work. She's much closer to work from here than from her home up in the mountains, so she doesn't have to leave as early to get to work on time. Willow seems to be tolerating the cold nights well. I know it's not too bad under the house where he sleeps, but I still like to check on him after it's been cold enough to freeze the water in his bowl. I change the water as often as I can to keep it fresh and unfrozen. Other animals have found it and drink from it too. I've seen several birds and evidence of other critters coming around and looking for an unfrozen water source, but I don't mind. They can drink that water. Howard is driving me nuts today, trying to get me to let him go outside, but him and Willow tied up, I think it was the day before yesterday, and I'm not letting him out for a couple of days. But if this man don't shut up, I'm going to have to groom him with a vengeance. Yeah, sometimes when he will not stop pestering me, I get out that brush and just brush him and brush him and brush him until he's so annoyed that he goes away from me and leaves me alone because he doesn't want to be brushed anymore. Uh, I had a pretty relaxing day. Just did some light housework and pet care. Tried to catch up on some YouTube videos of my friends. I seem to get behind so fast, and before I know it, I'm binge watching a week's worth of videos. I should have been walking on the treadmill while watching, but again, I'm procrastinating, and I don't know why. Sabina says that Mercury is in retrograde. So maybe it has something to do with that because over the last few years, since we've been friends and I've been watching her channel and she mentions that from time to time, I have kind of noticed that whenever that's going on, I feel very, unmotivated. I don't feel like, restricting my diet real hard. I can do without a lot of things, but then I'll still be, just kind of indulgent with my food and not really strict with my food and not really strict with an exercise program or at least routine. And it seems like ever since, around the first week of this year, I have just been not wanting to do anything. Um, and I don't know if it has anything to do with that or not, but it seems to coincide with that. My mood, kind of lazy mood, don't really want to get on the diet and exercise train right now. And I know from past experience that if I'm not in the right state of mind, it's not going to work. I'm going to get frustrated, and that's not good. So this little note here says, I got a bit of a headache today. My new glasses are strong and will take some adjustment. Yeah, I've noticed that. I never did know anything about having glasses. So it's all brand new to me. I had one pair that I got over 3 years ago, which I thought it had been a little over a year. And I get there and they're saying it's closer to 4 years. My goodness, how time flies. It's amazing, really. It's amazing. It really does. Every year goes faster than the one before it, in my opinion, from my point of view. So Tuesday the 25th, it was sunny, high in the mid 60s, low in the high 30s. Woke up feeling lazy today. I've been feeling that way lately. Maybe because the cats woke me up at the butt crack of dawn, racing and wrestling through the whole house. I don't know what got into them. Probably tired of being in the house all day. So I opened all the windows and, all the curtains so that they could sun themselves in the windowsills. Well, as soon as the sun had come up, that is, because they were up acting a fool before dawn. Decided to get on the treadmill today to see if it would help me feel more motivated to do something. I walked a mile and a half in around 40 minutes. It's not fast, but it's the best I've done in months. I was feeling really motivated back before Christmas, but I've totally lost it. And I don't feel like starting to set goals or restricting myself right now. And hopefully, walking on the treadmill will help with that. Because, I do know I need to go ahead and get back on a really strictly low carb diet, and I need to do regular exercise, like regular walks on the treadmill every other day is good. And like today, I'm going shopping, so I'm not going to walk on the treadmill today, and I probably won't tomorrow, but then the next day I will. So, like, day before yesterday, I walked, yesterday I didn't. Today I'm going shopping, and I don't know, if you've not been around a super Walmart, it is huge. The one I'm going to today is ginormous. It's like 3 acres of concrete retail floor. And so I get plenty of walking done when I'm shopping because I need all different stuff from all different areas of the store. And like, even they've got it set up so even if you just need, like, say, a a carton of milk and a dozen eggs, you're gonna have to walk through, like, a block and a half of retail merchandise in order to pick up those 2 things. They know what they're doing. They make you walk past all that candy and stuff before you can buy, a loaf of bread. Okay, so I let Howard out for most of the day. I still haven't seen Willow's girlfriend around. So I guess they were just a fling, and she's gone back where she came from. So, with the female out of the picture, maybe the guys can get along enough to avoid each other. I know it seems like Howard gets special treatment because he gets to go out more, but the truth is, he works my nerves until it's either strangle him or chunk him outside. The other cats don't seem to want to go out when it's cold or windy or raining. Howard just acts like he don't have no sense. Well, it's probably not an act. He don't have no sense. He really don't. And God love him. I can't stay mad at him. And ooh, he be doing stuff that makes me so mad, and I can't stay mad at him. I just love him. Little rascal. Let's move on to Wednesday. It was the 26th. It was sunny. We had a high in the low 60s and a low in the low 30s. Decided to have a personal care day. I've been chatting with Latrice a little bit about her February self care challenge, and I decided to have a me day. After Slim left for work, I went back to sleep for a couple of hours. That always feels really indulgent when he's working and I'm at home sleeping, but I always seem to need it. When I woke up around 10 a.m., I decided to have a luxurious bath with all the trimmings, the bath salts, bath oil, bubble bath, and a bath bomb, plus some scented candles. I mean, the works. I had a glass of lemonade and listened to a documentary on the Impressionist painters, which I really love. I got to see a bunch of them while I was relaxing in the tub and looking at lovely art. It was really nice. My roses had all bowed their heads, but the lilies look fresh, so I trimmed and sorted my flowers and now have a beautiful bouquet of white lilies and purple accent flowers, and I put them in my smaller monarch vase. So, yes, here they are. This is what's left of my roses. There's a real pretty one back here. They're kind of every which way. This one didn't open quite right because the cats bit it. This one also has a cat bite on one of its beautiful leaves. And that one has a little small petal, which probably a cat bit it. They won't leave it alone. But they're still very lovely. I have a much smaller bouquet now. But this has lasted, this is over a week. I think today makes like 8 days I've had these flowers. So maybe I'll get some more at town today. We shall see. Okay. So I did my nails in a pearlized blue, which you've probably seen. And I got this a little while back when I was wearing my blue jean jacket, and Slim suggested some nail polish that color would look nice. So he usually doesn't comment on stuff like that. So I thought I'd try it. And I found this color, which looks, kind of like blue jean color. Um, and I like it. I think it looks nice. And I think it looks good with my glasses. It kind of matches my glasses. So that's kind of cool too, which I didn't realize when I got it. I also waxed my eyebrows, whitened my teeth during my little spa day, and will probably do a hair treatment before I go to bed, which I did. I did a Pantene leave-in hair treatment thing. Um, I put an easy supper in the oven and relaxed with a cup of coffee until Slim got home. I plan to work on my blanket, the one I'm making for Voon, tonight and go shopping tomorrow. All in all, it was a very relaxing and refreshing day. So, yes, I had a me day yesterday and got all kinds of personal care stuff done. And Latrice is doing a challenge. I'm going to make a video about it because my emphasis lately in personal care is being hair, skin, and nails. So I'm going to do a little video about what I do and what I use and stuff like that. So today is Thursday, the 27th. It's mostly cloudy. High in the mid 50s, low in the low 30s. I got up early this morning, and it wasn't because of Howard for once. I need the Jeep today to go shopping, so I took Slim to his ride over to his cousin's house, and on the way, I saw the sunrise. It was a crimson slash across the horizon, and the rest of the sky was gray. So it's real cloudy today, but right at sunup you could just see that all the way across the horizon in bright red slash. So it's trash day today. When I got back, I got all our bags together and I took them up the road to where our bins are. We had 5 bags this week. I'm always surprised at how much trash 2 people make. And then I remember all our cats. So then I'm not surprised anymore. Tidied up the cats' area in the laundry room, including disassembling and cleaning their water fountain. It was pretty easy to clean, and I realized that the pump had kind of unsecured from the bottom of the fountain, and that's why it seemed to be needing to be refilled so often. It wasn't empty, the pump had floated to the top. So I will show you their little fountain. Okay, so here's their little water fountain. It's a Premier Pets brand fountain. It's not very big. It's for small dogs and cats. And it's an electric pump, just kind of like you'd have in a fish tank. And it's suction cupped down in the bottom here. And so this kept kind of making a kind of gurgly sound like it was running out of water. And I would put lots of water in it and it would quit. But what had happened was the pump, the little suction cups on the bottom of the pump had released and it had floated up to the top. And it would only work without making that weird suctiony sound if it was brimming full. So I took this all apart. You just take this part off, and then there is the bowl part and the pump, and then a little tube that goes in between. And I disassembled that and I cleaned it really good. And it wasn't hard to clean and it wasn't really that dirty. And I haven't disassembled and cleaned it for 1 month. So the only thing is when I change the filter, even if I rinse the filter, and it's just like, a filter in a fish tank, and you just slide it down in the back. If I rinse it, get the charcoal out of it, it doesn't happen as bad, but there'll be little buildup right around the water line of a little dark gray or black powder, and that's the charcoal from the new filter. It took me a little while to figure that out, but I got it figured out, and it's all now clean and fresh, and They all really enjoy this type of water bowl. Although when it was making that gurgling noise, it kind of put them off from drinking out of it because it made that weird noise. But I also have on the other side of the room, um, right over here, is their still water bowl. And I use a white bowl so that I can see if there's anything in there. Because Naboo doesn't like still water and he will bat the water with his paw like this and make it move before he begins drinking. So a lot of times, some little dirty something off his foot will get into the water, so I'll have to change it really frequently. But this is the one that they mostly have used since we got it. And it's got four little fountains, one coming off each corner. So, more than one of them can drink at the same time. And that's nice because they don't really like taking turns. They like butting in on each other, especially the boys. And if you didn't know, cats really want their water far away from their food. So at least across the room, if not in another room, they really enjoy having their water at a separate source and in motion. Um, I leave the still water just to make sure they're acclimated to this weird little pump that was making noise. But after a few months, I'll probably remove their still water bowl if they are all drinking out of this one because this one's filtered and it's actually, better and cleaner for them. But I change the other one every day. Don't we, Marina? Yeah. All of my cats really enjoy having fresh water. They'll all drink out of a faucet if I'll let them. The boys are infatuated with the bathtub faucet, and they all like water that's in motion. Naboo, especially, will not drink from a still water source. He'll slap at the water. And in my opinion, I think that a cat's health and longevity is totally influenced by how much good, clean, quality water that they will drink. Because getting a cat to drink water is sometimes like impossible. And they're really well known for having um, issues with their urinary tract and kidneys and stuff. And it's all because they won't drink water. And I think a lot of them are like Naboo and they don't want to drink still water and they really don't want their water next to their food source. Do you, darling? Yeah. So, okay, that's enough about cats and water. Okay, so I'm going to have a nice cup of coffee. Then I'm going to get ready to go to town. I have quite a long list this week. And I need to stop by the post office. I've been expecting some Happy Mail for a while, but still not a word. The post office lady will usually email me when I have a package come in and I don't pick it up in a day or two. So I don't really think I've missed anything, although she could be off work. It could be someone else and they don't know to do that. But anyway, I've been checking it on Thursday. I checked it um, last week, the week before, and I'm going to check today. Tomorrow's my son's birthday. I want to go and take them out, him and his fiance. Me and Slim want to go and take him out for a really nice dinner, someplace, really nice. Maybe in Hot Springs or Texarkana. I would like to go to Hot Springs because, like I'm used to Texarkana and there's a couple places you can make reservations, but mostly you have to wait. And I hate waiting for restaurants like that. It's like a pet peeve to like sit in the waiting room or whatever with your little light up buzzy thing waiting for your table. Ooh, I can't stand to do that. So I would want to go someplace that I could make a reservation, even if it's a little more expensive or kind of out of the way or something, because I the restaurants in Texarkana are not worth the wait to me. I mean, but I'm real particular like that. But having been a professional cook, something's got to be really outstanding for me to be like, oh, this is great, and so worth going out for and stuff. Because usually I'm like, meh, I could have probably done better. Not to be, I'm not trying to be, like conceited or whatever, but a lot of times I'm disappointed. You pay a lot of money for a nice meal out, and I feel like if I could have used that same amount of money on ingredients and made something way better. But anyway, we're wanting to take them out to a really nice restaurant and maybe in Hot Springs somewhere that I'm not used to that, probably be a little better. And that's like close to them and close to us. Like both of those towns, we could meet there and it wouldn't be so far for either one of us, and we could have a nice dinner and um, still drive back, and it would be half as long as if one of us went all the way to the other one's house because that's like a 2 hour drive. So anyway, I haven't talked to him yet. Um, but I'm going to call him this evening and see what they have on for the weekend. So we can make some kind of plans. And, they may be busy. They often are. Um, they often do have plans on their special occasions and stuff. So we may have to do it next weekend or, I haven't really talked to him about it. So I'm going to be calling him this evening and making plans to do that. But if we do go out to someplace interesting, I'll see if I can't get a video and share it with you guys. So thanks for joining me for my little weekly journal update. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me and just going around my house and seeing what's up and the little flowers and how I fixed the little kitty cat pole and the water fountain and stuff. It may seem boring to some people, and I'm sure it is. But I've longed for routine and stability all my life. So to me, this is just a really, really perfect lifestyle for me at this time in my life. And because of that, because I'm so happy with my own life, I try to share it with you guys. It's simple, it's routine, but it's secure and dependable. And, I'm very happy and comfortable in my own life. And I like to share that with others who appreciate it. So I really want to thank you guys for coming and going with me on my little journey throughout my life. Um, this is each week I've folded back like this. So this represents about 3 months of my life so far in this one book. And I've been thinking I really don't know what to do with these books once I fill them up because I'm not very retrospective, so I don't go back and read them really. Um, but yeah, so I guess it's just a lot of the things that I don't do to keep. It's just for in the moment. It's just like what I'm doing that particular day. And then I really don't go back over it, although I can see how that would be nice and nostalgic and stuff to do that. Um, that's not really why I do it. So I guess I'll keep them, but it seems like I don't know. I don't quite know what to do with used journals. If you guys journal, let me know what you do with all your field journals. Do you keep them like with your photo albums and stuff to look through later, or when you're done and you just chuck them out? What do you do with your used journals? I would be curious to know. So thanks again for joining me, you guys, and don't forget, be sweet to yourself, be sweet to others, and love ya.